Alright. It's the OlimoLeague November Finals. And it is SHIN in the bottom left side of the map for Gaming Gladiators up against Dark in the top right. We've already got the top 8 decided for Home Story Cup right now. And it has been dominated by Terran with, I think, 1 Protoss, 1 Zerg, right? 6 Terran, 1 Protoss, 1 Zerg. People go, look, Terran patch. Well, other big tournament that's happened over in the Korean scene here, we've got 2 Zergs in the final. So, looks like there is only one conclusion. Protoss is bad. Get wrecked, Protoss noobs. No, obviously just a few tournaments. We'll see how we go with it. But interesting to see the way this tournament has gone. Dark has been cutting through Terrans like a knife through hot butter. SHIN has been probably, arguably I want to say the best ZvP player in the world recently, but that's because Serral hasn't been playing. I think we're going to get to see, hopefully, a bit more of Serral's ZvP over the coming weeks, because I want to see more of Serral, man. He's been looking fantastic. But for now, this is a Zerg vs. Zerg, and expect yourselves a knife fight in a phone booth. We are looking at, honestly, 2 of the cheesiest, kind of most in-your-face guys. Dark is able to get away with a lot of mistakes in this matchup because he's so good at playing off the back foot, playing from behind. His micro is so good. His intuition. SHIN is usually a little bit more clever when it comes to his build order planning, so we'll see which direction that goes. I just got introduced to the cube rule of food, guys. Deciding what's a sandwich and not. Quite a train that we've just gone down. And for anyone who follows that rule, apparently Big Mac is just a cake, since it just has layers of starch. And that's what the cube rule is all about. Anyone who believes that is insane, and I hate you. I just want you guys to know that. If you think Big Mac is a cake, just know. By the way, Whopper or Big Mac? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. I feel like, because I'm more of a quarter pounder guy these days. I don't know if you guys have, is quarter pounder like ubiquitous around the world at McDonald's? I don't know. That's basically a big cheeseburger, you know, if I'm going to have McDonald's. Otherwise, I think I probably would go a good Whopper over a good Big Mac, personally. But the Big Mac has its place with that special sauce. Kind of depends where you're getting it as well. Because, like, if you're in, like, a really crappy Burger King or Hungry Jack's, as we sometimes call it here in Australia, and that Whopper can be pretty awful. But if you're, whereas McDonald's has, I think, a higher quality control across their stores. You know, I think McDonald's is a little bit more standardized. Third hatchery does come down. All right, a couple links coming out. So far, it looks like gas count is identical, so no one's really rushing things. Baneling Nest, identical timing for both sides. Apparently, the 1/3 pounder failed because versus the quarter pounder, because people in the US are so dumb they thought it was smaller. That sounds like it could be made up, but also could be very believable. Don't forget, people complained about the random shuffle setting being too random with Spotify. They said they didn't like it. They wanted it to be more random. They said, shuffle's not random enough. Plays the same song too much. Can you make it more random, please? And they're like, I think you're asking for it to be less random, but okay. And they went and they fiddled with it and made it not random. Ling's going to try to get in there. Roachhorn coming down very early for SHIN. It looks like he's all in. 26 drones. You know what's really cool, guys? People used to always Ling Flood to disguise this build. He is purely just sitting there, massing roaches, but he has to deny this Zergling. If Dark sees this, he's going to stop droning, make roaches, and be fine. Dark's building 5 more drones. He has no idea. Dark scouting. I always talk about Dark and Raynor being some of the lazier scouting players when it comes to the top Zergs. Sees no drones on the 3rd. That alone is not that big of a tell this early. He does have 2 drones on his own 3rd. He needs to stop building drones. He needs to make overlords right now. Oh my god, he's almost supply blocked as well. He's going to start building a roach. But he needs spines. He needs roaches. He needs to give up his 3rd base. You cannot defend your 3rd here as Dark, I don't think. Spinecrawler goes down. He's building another overlord. He's trying to build another spine. Dude, this is so bad for Dark. He didn't see it coming at all. He's up 15 workers. That's after building 2 Spinecrawlers. He was up 17. He does cancel the first Baneling morph, though. Nice interception there. Baneling comes forward on that side. More Banelings trying to morph in the front. Good micro for Dark to delay this as much as he possibly can. Queen caught out at the third base. The Roaches getting in and doing big damage. They need to stop attacking the hatchery, though. He's got to get on top of these spines before they finish. Roaches and Lings doing very well. Spinecrawler will not have a chance to finish. At least the one on the left won't. The one on the right might be able to come up. And those Lings pulling back for Shin. Shin trying to bait those Roaches into the open. He's going for the big surround. Dark coming out here. Transfuse is trying to go down. Transfuse on the Spinecrawler would be big. He gets it down. Spinecrawler with 2 armor, tanking a lot of damage. The Roaches, though, mostly have been surrounded. Dark gathering his defenses. Can he hold on? That Spinecrawler does so much here, but it does fall. More Lings coming in could be game-changing. Roaches and Ravagers trying to fight here. It feels like Dark has held on with a 16 worker advantage. I cannot believe it. What an astounding hold. Now, don't get me wrong, the next wave could still kill him. He pulled all of his queens to the front. He doesn't have amazing production. He's got to still stabilize, but he can pull drones. He's got to pull drones. Why is he not pulling drones? He's up 16 workers. He hasn't pulled any workers. He's losing his DPS. Dark, you've got to pull your drones into these fights, mate. You cannot wait. He's pulling his drones, but he's already lost all of his damage output. Drones on their own will not cut it. They need units behind them dealing damage. Bile does land, but no, it actually misses. Does not land on the drones. Drones there. That Roach gets transfused. Nice. Roach transfuse for Dark. His drone count somehow is still not really dropping. The drones are actually putting up a good fight, and he does manage to hold on. 5 workers go down. I thought he was going to lose a lot more than that, but Dark hanging on. Like I said, this is going to be a knife fight in a phone booth too. Absolutely crazy aggressive Zergs just going at each other, trying to wipe each other out. The Queen will go down. Another one does survive. There's 3 more Queens building right now. Dark is just pumping out anything he can. Roaches, Queens, Zerglings, anything to survive. All right, doesn't lose any drones in the third base. That's a hold. He's up 8 workers, and that should give him a very solid lead. 3 Queens are out with 3 more building for Dark. Does lose a few Lings on the counterattack, but he's up in the army supply. That's big. Roaches, Lings, even a few Banes spread across these bases. And the Evo Chamber goes down for Shin, while Dark starts a 4th hatchery. What? Oh my, there's greed. There's greed. Because he's been missing injects because his Queens all died. He was like, damn, I have minerals. I might as well spend it. But a good cancel for Shin to slow down that crazy growth of Dark. Wouldn't be too against a macro hatchery. Then again, what is Dark doing with his Queens, guys? He's got 5 Queens, and they're not injecting the main or the natural. He had all of his Queens on one control group. He's got to fix that. I've talked to you guys a lot about in the last few years about how Dark does not have multiple Queen control groups ever. He puts all of his Queens on one control group. So anytime he's under big attack, he always pulls every Queen to the front. It's good because it makes it really easy for him to scramble together a defense. It's bad because anytime you scare Dark or get a big reaction out of him, it massively screws with his injects and his macro. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's probably better for keeping him alive in a lot of situations where other players might be just an extra second or 2 slower to gather all those Queens. But it definitely comes at a cost. Now, his Overlords are popping. Both players have been hitting a few supply blocks on their way up here. Queen's going to find another Overlord on this side. Shin's already supply blocked on 82. It's going to be in the red as that Overlord goes down. A few Lings in the bottom right getting chased back by the Zerglings. Bane's looking for the intercept. Shin, though, eyes are open. And it looks like 56 workers for Shin, 64 for Dark. Dark should be able to finish this with just Mass Roach, but Evo Chamber's very late. He's only just started his upgrade. For some reason, he hasn't walled off, which is peculiar for this matchup, especially when you're facing someone who has so many Zerglings and has such an advantage in that unit count. Ling splitting off. Dark's going to try to scout. Sees a few Roaches. Sees the third base is mostly, but not fully saturated. And Shin's actually going to build 10 more drones, while Dark goes for Spire. So he's going to get a few mutas from map control and then play the Roach game. I would expect him to build a second Evo Chamber and follow up with a 2-1 Roach timing to try and finish the game. ZvZ is my favorite mirror matchup. I hate ZvZ. Is it fun to play? Is it stressful? People are all arguing about that in chat right now. ZvZ is fun if you don't mind action-packed games. It's also fun if you learn how to survive the early action and not just die to random link funds all the time. I often teach people this matchup by telling them how to just YOLO, because I figure if you can learn how to do a very good Ling Bane attack, it teaches you the micro, teaches you the high-paced gameplay, teaches you the power of aggression, and then you can learn everything else after that. It's a big Roach push coming out towards that 4th base. Spire goes down for Shin as well, but if you lose your 4th and then Dark takes these gases, he's going to have a lot more Mutalisks. Plenty of Roaches coming forward. +1 is already done for Shin, but Dark is going to have the faster Roach speed, finishing in a moment. Dark still hasn't taken those gases on the 4th. He doesn't know about the Mutalisks. He does not know about the Mutas. Yeah, no, he saw the Spire. Oh, he actually knows about the Spire, so he should just only be making Mutas and Zerglings now. Whoever has more Mutas should win this game. Roaches doing a bit of a diversionary tactic there, pulls these Roaches to the south. Shin tries to pull back up there. Shin's own Roach speed kicking in, but only now. Shin's down. Excuse me, Shin's down about 15 supply. Banelings just rolled in, but they only got 2 drones. Not the best micro on those Banelings. He was too busy defending for Shin. Otherwise, he might have got a big boom boom. Dark on that 4th base. He's running back into the 3rd as well. Roach is in the mineral line. Roach is coming in from all sides. Shin does not have the numbers. His all-in attack. Dark didn't really scout it, but as I said, Dark is one of the best players at surviving off the back foot, even when his scouting isn't perfect. He's a little supply block, this or that. The Spine Crawler's building quickly. The Roach is building, pulling all of his queens to the front. Dark survives game 1. All right, guys. Shin in the bottom left side of the map. Dark in the top right. And this, by the way, has Dark got his own picture? He does. I saw Hero had his own picture next to it. And Shin's just got a Roach. He's a Roach boy. For those who don't know, when players get to play in BlizzCon in the past or the World Championship, often there are portraits of the players in those kind of global finals, the top 16 players in the world who will have one of these cool stylized portraits. You see he's got like Zerg growth on him and stuff on this cool photo. And like a lot of the players like to obviously have that picture, as you would. Hey, your picture's in the game. Why not chuck it up as your clan picture? And, you know, go for... Actually, is that even him? I think it's Dark. It looks kind of like TY, but because it's stylized and it would have been from years ago when he was younger as well. Looks a little bit like TY. If it's floating next to your base, it is actually the crew tag for his clan. So that might not... It could actually be a different player, but I do like that Shin just knows his true nature as a Roach boy. The Roach. I didn't even know Roaches had 3 eyes, guys. Allows them to see better even when they're vomiting on their opponents, I guess. It is a hatch gas pool once again. The map is Frostline. I've cast so many games on this calling it Snowpiercer. It's going to take a little while to get used to that. So Frostline, the new map name, due to trademark and whatnot. Hatch gas pool for both sides. Dark is down 4 gas, no big difference. Now, in that last game, Shin was going for just a very popular aggressive build. That's my favorite build to play when I'm playing against a Zerg who I think's better than me. Except I'll open up with the Ling Flood before the Roachling Bane attack. I don't think you ever do that same build 2 games in a row. And I think especially after it didn't work, when you caught Dark so over-droning, like, he had a safe Roach Warren timing. So as much as Dark over-droned, didn't see it very early, he did have a Roach Warren finished, which is something, right? And he did a good job of delaying the Banelings from morphing. I think maybe if he didn't delay those Banelings from morphing, he might have died. But he managed to realize the Roaches split from the Ling Bane. The Banelings were kind of exposed, cancelled that morph, and that was big. 3rd base for Dark comes up. He goes for the triangle base location, whereas Shin goes in a straight line along the edge of the map. Dark's does lean itself to be a forward launching point for aggression a little bit easier. Shin's more of the sort of 3rd base you often take when you're playing Mutalisks, but on this map, it's actually a bit more exposed to that more standard 3rd that Dark's taking. Couple of Lings going to come over, defend that hatchery. Don't want to take too much damage on your hatchery or a follow-up snipe becomes possible. Baneling Nest for both sides has gone down at a very safe timing. Players are so aware of how scary Ling Floods are these days. We used to see a meta where everyone took their Baneling Nest at like 255, 3 minutes. Not anymore. Both sides massing Ling Bane right now. Lots of Ling Bane. Looks like Dark wants to be more aggressive. Dark's just going to throw the kitchen sink. Dark is the only top 10 player in the world out of the Zerg who will still regularly just do an old school random Ling Bane timing. 27 drones, makes 30 Zerglings, throws it at his opponent, tries to morph Banelings, sees what he can get done. This does not work very reliably at the top level, but Dark knows this will mess the game up. It'll cause some chaos, cause some micro, and he thinks he's the better player than Shin, so he's going to mix it in. To be fair, he does it pretty much every best of 5 anyway, and this is a best of 7. He loves to mix this in because he's so confident in messy games where there's a lot of action, a lot of movement, a lot of weird things happening. Banelings coming in. Nice split on the Banelings here, but Dark manages to focus down one of Shin's Banelings. Shin trying to keep these Banelings spread. He's morphing 2 more at the same time. 1 Baneling goes down. 3 Banelings here, though, for Dark. Oh, the Ling's getting zoned a little bit, and that's going to allow Dark to go in towards the natural. He's going to find a queen there. The Baneling's going for the drones. Watch out. You got to spready. Got to spready. Spready. Oh! Okay, only 3 drones. Could have been a little worse. Dark does focus down a 4th one. A few Lings rallying up there as well. These Lings in the natural are here. A massive Ling flood arriving in that 3rd. Banelings, though. Good pullback for Dark. Only 1 goes down. Oh, Shin not watching. Oh, Shin's got to be careful with that micro. Drones do defend in the main base. Only 4 drones going down in total. Good defense so far, but it's not over till it's over. This wall has 2 big openings in it. Those Lings in the natural. He's in the 3rd base at the same time. 3 drones caught out in the open. Baneling's looking for a hit. Gets a juicy one. 5 Zerglings for 1 Baneling. but the Zerglings in the main are distracting. Drone and Roach trying to defend. Up at the third base, looks like all those Banelings are now gone. Without the Banelings, he's going to be in trouble. Dark's 2 Banelings come in, blow up on the Queen, don't find any damage, but at the third base, that third base is in jeopardy. Dark is holding down the Zergling key. He is as all in as you can get with an opening link Bane pressure, just shoving it in like a crazy person, trying to take out as many Roaches as he can. If he can get rid of the Queens, that could be worth. He takes out one more Roach in the backside, but he has to pull back. Dark disengaging. Shin has defended. He's up 16, 17 workers. If Dark does not kill that third, he is completely out of this game. Even if he kills the third, he might die to the counterattack because there is already a bunch of Roaches on this map. Zergling's coming in behind it. Gets himself a Queen. Roaches getting surrounded as well. Roaches trying to defend. Oh, he gets surrounded. Big mistake there for Shin. 2 Roaches going down. In the main base, a single Roach splits off to deal with Dark sneaky Banelings. The Southeast Asia Banelings, as we used to call those back in our region. We used to be big fans of those. We played ZvZ all day, every day for the first 3 years of StarCraft 2 for whatever reason. Oceania and Southeast Asia was all Zerg players, and we basically played ZvZ all day. Dark does not manage to get that move off, but it doesn't matter. It was just a distraction. Shin has just been too greedy in this game, and after getting rid of those few Roaches that were separated, the lack of Baneling morphs for Shin really capitalizing. And now Dark finds his way in. Those drones trying to run these Banelings defensively, trying to morph him, not able to get up in time. And these drones running. He's got to focus the Baneling down. The Baneling getting in there. Oh, the drone's trying to spread. Another massive hit. That single Zergling. Look at him. Dark shift clicks the drones. Too much damage. And Dark able to overwhelm, forces the multitasking, and smashes it. All right, guys. Shin needs to get some momentum. Getting overwhelmed in that last game. The moment your queens start to fall, it becomes a problem. He really needed to seal his wall off. If he could have got another Evo chamber down so his wall off was just a queen there, he could have focused all of his Lingbane on the outside and had a better time of it. But the moment you've got a wide open wall, there's Lings in your main, Lings in your third, Lings in your natural, it's just not possible to stabilize there. So looked like he stabilized for a moment, but just couldn't quite deal with those follow-up waves. The mobility of Dark, too powerful. And as I said, this will be a knife fight in a phone booth. So far, Dark has started off very well. Another analogy, it'd be like car jitsu. Do you guys know car jitsu? Car jujitsu, whatever it's called? That stuff is the funniest sport ever. It's jujitsu, but you start in a car. And dude, I'm telling you, if you manage to stop the other guy from unbuckling his seatbelt at the start, it is friggin' ownage. Like, it is, the whole meta is about stopping the other guy from unbuckling his seatbelt at the start. It is one of the funniest sports I've ever watched. You guys should look it up on YouTube. It's such a mess. It's ridiculous. And it's hilarious to watch. Such a cramped space as well in a car. You're just like, oh my god, it's claustrophobic and insane. But yeah, basically Dark is the guy who stops you from getting your seatbelt unbuckled in the first place. And I'm pretty sure you're allowed to choke people with his seatbelt as well in car jitsu, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure you can like literally use the seatbelt to like wrap around someone's neck until they tap. Like, correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. It's a crazy sport. I love it, man. In the modern realm of chess boxing, car jitsu, influencer boxing matches where I open my Twitter feed on stream and I see a girl immediately lift her top off because apparently it was an OnlyFans, model kind of boxing match. And she's like, yeah, I knocked the other girl out. Here's my boobs. That was a real jump scare. I luckily didn't have my stream showing my webpage because I remember I literally just tabbed to Twitter and was like, oh, I'm going to get banned for a week from Twitch. I just showed boobies. And then I was like, oh, thank God they can't see it. I was like, and then I realized never open Twitter on stream without vetting the exact part of the page you're looking at because that will it will show the craziest stuff. It will show, yeah. All sorts of wild stuff. Link's coming around. Baneling Nest for Dark. Shin goes for it just slightly later. Now notice Shin's got a faster third queen. He's playing a little more defensive. After that last game, Dark might just lean into the aggression. He's hiding 2 Zerglings. He's going to 28 workers. No, he's droning. Okay, he's droning. He's playing a little greedy. Playing a little bit greedier while Shin actually builds a few more Zerglings. Dark has no Zerglings at home to morph into Banelings. This is a... Oh my god, he's supply blocked on 36. Dark! He doesn't extract restrictive on 2 more Zerglings. Was he just staring at these Zerglings? What was he doing? 36 supply block. Oh no. Dark is like the only top player that gets hit with a 36 supply block every second game. It's crazy, man. 10 more drones. 10 more drones. Oh, Shin, you have to punish this. You can't let him get away with this. You have to be aggressive. Shin's been very defensive in this series. I think Dark is realizing Shin's afraid to dance. I think he's sensing that Dark is just a little... Yeah, he's like, Shin doesn't want to multitask with me. And Dark's like, cool, I can just drone. Haha, look, I have a 5 worker advantage already. Oh, Shin, looking for the queen. Not quite able to cut her off. There we go, gets her. You want to kill the Zerglings first because they do more damage, but of course the queen is the more valuable target. Does get rid of that 3rd queen. Shin's catching up on workers right now. Roach Warren for both sides. Second gas for both sides. Both ready for that very common Roach Bane battle that ends up defining this matchup. Baneling's coming forward as well for a bit of a poke. Evo Chamber goes down for Shin. That's the first sign of a player wanting to play a longer game. Absolutely dodgy wall off, by the way. Bad Roach Warren positioning for Shin. I would have liked him to build the Evo Chamber there and put the queen on the right side. I think that would have been fine. This is a super weird wall off. And drones are caught in the open. Dark comes in with the counter attack. But actually loses a couple of Zerglings for free. Oh, Shin! Luckily, Dark wasn't looking. Doesn't detonate the Banelings. We've got Lings trying to run in the left side as well. Shin recognizes it. Blocks those Zerglings. And the queen's on the right side. Can damage those Banelings even more. One of them does go down. Dark's building 10 roaches. Shin's building 7. Dark is down 3 workers right now. He's insanely committed to this. If these Lings can get in and see what's happening, it's going to give Shin a big advantage. Let's go to Shin's vision, guys. We're on his camera right now. We are on his camera. He sees the roach one. Does he see the roaches, though? I don't know if he sees the roaches. Shin needs to turn around and defend. He needs to turn around, go home, and defend. I don't know if he saw the roaches. We're still in his vision. Dark's Roachling is coming. He's making... Oh, wait. Dark's actually not moving out, though. Or if he is, it's a fake. Dark's just defending. Wow. Okay, so Dark goes Lair and Evo Chamber. The Evo Chamber of Shin never got used. What a bizarre game right now. This is fascinating. Okay, Zergling tries to snipe the Baneling. Doesn't quite get it. No! Decent Baneling detonate for Dark. Dark's just gone back to droning. He builds 10, 11 roaches and then just chills. He was like, okay, you've got too many roaches as well. I'm not going to do any damage. Staying flexible, staying very, very loose in his play. While Shin, he's the one who looks a bit more committed right now. He's trying to hide his roach numbers, right? He's got a few roaches out front zoning the Zerglings. He's hiding the real numbers. Dark's being so greedy. Dark's going to 61 drones. He's not scouting beyond these roaches. He just assumes Shin's playing a macro game because he saw his early Evo Chamber. Ling's running in here for Shin. Shin is going to realize gases, Evo Chamber, all the economy. He's going to grab himself a drone, run into the main base. Maybe he sees the lair is finished, and it's go time, guys. Mass Roachling. Dark is on 60 drones. Yet again, caught with extreme greed with his pants down. Oh, good Banelings for Shin as well. Masses. 22 roaches. Yeah, Dark has 16 with 7 more building. Dark might be able to defend. Dark doesn't have any Banelings, though. If Dark even had 1 Baneling, it would be so helpful against the Ling Flood. There's going to be like 50 Zerglings coming in. Roaches committing to the natural. Shin, he's attacking a Baneling nest with a lot of his roaches. Dark setup really good on the right side, but on the left he gets surrounded. That's what Shin was looking for. Shin with a hatchery attack. Mass Roachling. Banelings going for the worker line. Good spready on the workers for Dark. Meanwhile, the roaches in the top right of our screen are dueling. The Banelings not getting the hits they wanted on the drones. The Lings, though, cleaning house. Remember, though, Shin needs more damage than that. He's got to overwhelm here as well. He's still got some Banelings in the mix. The roaches getting pushed back. And Dark, once again, far too greedy. Except, I say once again, this is the only time he's actually been punished for it. Because he's been so good at defending while being greedy. Shin finally gets a map. All right, guys. Shin in the top right side, mounting the comeback. Again, he's going to go into Amygdala. Dark has still looked rather scary. 36 supply block in that last game, and that's how you know Dark's bringing out his best form. I'm not even kidding, guys. Dark goes Super Saiyan. When he stops building Overlords at the right time... Oh! He's Ling Flooding. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 1-minute gas. That is a Ling Flood coming in. Notice, you might think, oh, it's only a few seconds. That 5, 6, 7 seconds difference makes a big change. You usually only do this if you're thinking about doing something highly aggressive. So I would imagine what Dark's going to do. So he's going to delay his Baneling nest. So he's probably going to go 3 workers on gas immediately. Oh my god. Okay. Man takes his gas 6 seconds early and then forgets to put on gas for 3 seconds. The level of Dark's builds is truly incredible. Just Dark things, guys. Like, it's so funny because clearly his intent is to do a Ling Flood, and his Ling speed finishing as fast as possible is like the whole point of the build. And he's like, yeah, I'll just build it. I'll just put them on gas whenever. I love it. It reminds you, like, Dark is the reminder that perfect play is not a thing in StarCraft, and it doesn't need to be, because as long as you know how to win, that's all that matters. And there's 1,000 ways to win in StarCraft. And I often hear people get frustrated when they're playing StarCraft because they go, oh, I need to just do this and I hate doing this. And that's the only way to get better. Or that's the only way to win at my level or in this matchup that I suck at. And I'm like, what? There are always so many ways to play StarCraft. Look at Dark, look at Era, look at the way these guys showcase their own flavor and their own way of approaching the game. It's really big. Now, as you guys can see, Ling speed here, guys, is almost, it's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds behind at most. He might not even bother Ling flooding. Dark might just be doing a random build order like he often does. Now, he's made Ling speed. I thought he would fully pull off gas or just leave one worker. Interesting. Okay, he does start 4 Zerglings now. Has to get it down before those Lings block it. Just barely. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, third hatchery is on the way. Baneling Nest starts for Dark. He's building 4 more Lings. He's going to do a 22 drone Ling Bane Flood. Essentially, it's an all-in. And the Baneling Nest goes down about 252. Usually a safe enough timing, but... And especially on a big map like Amygdala, I think it should be, as long as Shin builds enough defensive units, which up until now he's been building a lot of extra units. This doesn't really seem like the best build order. But if Shin's a bit shaky, you're confident, you just want to put the pressure on him, make mistakes. I mean, we used to do stuff like this all the time in the earlier years of StarCraft 2. If you're like, I just think I'm faster and more confident, I want to apply pressure. I want him to be the one making mistakes and losing because of, you know, small errors here or there. Now look at this, guys. Oh, he's running north. I thought he'd run to the right. He shows it. Shin realizes what's happening. Get to the natural. Yeah, Roachhorn goes down. Leave the queens in the wall, potentially. Baneling's going to morph up against the ledge. Okay, 3 queens, guys. He's going to try and inject the hatchery and then get into that wall off. Get into the wall off. Don't let your queens get surrounded. Careful. Hatchery's almost finished. It's not quite ready, but it will be. 10 more Zerglings on the way. 4 Banelings morphing. And remember, you've just got to keep that natural walled off, which he hasn't got it walled off right now. He's defending in the top right, but that lets a Baneling in. Okay, 1 Baneling got focused down. The hatchery goes down. Banelings were not able to save it in time. Losing your third is not a big deal if you can defend your natural. But to defend the natural, he will probably need to pull his queens back there and rotate the Ling Bane to focus on defending the third while he retakes it. Oh, Baneling's coming in. Baneling's coming in. Shin detonates a bunch of his Banelings. Only gets 1 of Dark's. Shin sloppy on his micro right now. Dark's in. He gets the drone on the third base. Ling Bane going to the main. Can he get the big money hit? Yes, he can. Banelings come back, do clean up, save a few of these damaged drones. That 1 Zergling, though, he manages to one-tap 1, 2, 3, 4 drones, 5 drones. Oh, that Zergling does so much damage. 5 kills. Almost gets a 6th, but not quite. New drone over at the third base, but 12 drones have gone down and a third hatchery. That's too much damage. Yeah, with this wall off, a queen is not solid there. You need to keep the queens in that wall off, but of course he wanted to save the third hatchery, and Shin would have actually been much better off giving up the third, putting the 2 queens in the wall, and then just moving out with Ling Bane to re-secure the third base. If he did that, he would have been good. Now, he does counterattack with roaches, tries to force units, and he does force a lot of Ling Bane out of Dark, and then he just pulls back. Because he wasn't really planning to attack, he just said, hey, I had to build roaches, I might as well scare you into building things that aren't drones. Now Shin trying to re-drone his main. His natural saturated, main only at 13. He's got no Banelings, 1 about to finish morphing, but 4 roaches at that third will be hard to breach. Extra queen for Dark. Dark also up 9 workers. His own Roachhorn finishing. He's in a fantastic position right now. Baneling gets a juicy hit. Dark not paying attention there for a second. Must have been looking at home to inject. Zergling comes in on the third base as well. Shin getting a damage here. Could be good. He's stuck on 31 drones for so long, man. This feels like he's so far behind now. The drone barely survives. Dark with the pullback. Dark is just so far up on the workers. And he's building 8 of his own roaches already. Evo chamber gets spotted. He sees the lack of the lair, does Shin. Shin closing the worker count, but you got to realize his opponent's already massing roaches. If your opponent's already into the mass roach, you're only just starting to close that worker gap. You were in a very bad position. I like how you pronounce Duggan in Australia. I don't know what Duggan means. Twitch chat. That's okay. Duggan? Sounds like a really dumb nickname for someone called Doug. Duggan. Interesting. Ling's coming in. Zergling's chasing after it. We've got more Lings and Roaches rallying up here. I think this is just a light pressure, though. He's actually just droning behind it and trying to scare Shin out of this. We've got an Evo chamber behind the main base as well. Roaches trying to hang out. Roach Ling gathering 4th. Okay, second lair coming up as well. Dude, this is so weird. +1 range is coming. Oh, okay, Spire. That's what we're doing. Oh, guys, literally as I saw the Spire, I just heard thunder. We've had storms all week here. It's summer storms. It's like raining all across the city. I just heard some thunder right above me apartment, just echoing down as I saw that Spire. And to be fair, if you know you're behind, you're not going to catch up in upgrades, not for a while anyway. If you can get some Mutalisks, it can delay you and your opponent fighting. Problem, Overlord speed's there. He can bring Queens if he wants to, or he can just shove you before the Mutalisks are out. And if Dark commits, I mean, he's already in a solid lead right now. He's got his 4th hatchery coming up. He doesn't even have pressure on him. Like, it's not like he needs to go finish the game. As Shin, you're just trying to make yourself survive, right? You're trying to give the ability to survive a bit longer, and that's what that Spire is all about. 2 Zerglings hiding the right side of that main. Overlord will see it. Overseer comes into the main base. Gonna get some nice scouting as the Roaches clean up those 2 Zerglings that were hiding. 4th hatchery tries to go down in the gold for Shin. Cute idea. Looks like Dark is poised to attack with +1 Roach, though. 19 Roaches +1. And he's bringing a Baneling drop as well. He's going to build a Hydra Den. Okay. Very cool, very cool. Spire's almost finished. Did the Speed Overseer see it? Yes, it did. What is the response for Dark, guys? Dark drones, makes +2 range, makes a Hydra Den. If you could get a Carapace upgrade, that would be really good. He's also going to build a few more Queens as well to make sure he has some extra mobile anti-air. Should probably spread his creep a bit so he can really shut down the advantage those Mutalisks give. Pulls all of his Overlords back, so he's not going to take any damage. So you've got 5 Mutalisks for Shin. Forces Dark to chill for a little bit, but Dark's going to go Tunneling Claws, Burrow. He's going to go into Hydras. He's got the ability to drone that 4th base whenever he wants to, which I'm honestly surprised he hasn't done. It feels like Dark could be getting so much further ahead in this game. He's had so much freedom for so long. He's been way up in the Roach count, but he didn't push. Now he's having to go into like Hydras, Tunneling Claws, but he's doing it on less workers. Like Shin's on 70 drones. If Shin can actually just make his +2 without too much delay, do nothing but mass Roaches from here, he's completely back into this game. Now, of course, Tunneling Claw Roaches could still find big value. Oh, look at that. Baneling drop comes in, finds nothing. Overlords and Mutalisks, Queens and Mutalisks, sorry, shut it down before it can even get in drop range. Roach Ravager on the front. It's all about the Tunneling Claws. That's the big surprise that could do massive damage, but he's got Overlords on the front. It's going to be hard to get out here without Shin realizing what's up. Dude, I can't believe Shin's back in this game. Overseer Scout comes in, sees it's just a handful of Mutalisks for now. Gold base is saturated. Shin trying to fight. More thunder rumbling. Roaches, Ravagers hanging out. More Ravagers for Shin. That's going to give him a nice area of biles. Mutalisks going after the Ravagers. Nice moves. Mutalisks a little bit slow to the party. The Mutas do take out 1 Ravager. Shin, though, committing to a fight before Dark's +2 kicks in. He wants to trade now while the upgrades are even, but it seems like maybe Dark just has a few more Roaches here on the front. I think he's surprised, thinking, didn't you drone this 4th base? Why do you have so many Roaches? Shin fighting reasonably even. He's a few hundred resources out in the units lost. But I don't think he was expecting Dark to not have droned his 4th base. Dark had that advantage for so long but didn't really use it. Shin finds the Tunneling Claw Roaches, and he's going to find these Roaches immediately. 5 Roaches trying to sneak by. Overseer spots it. Don't get cornered, though. He's chasing into a corner here. Shin, you need to get out of there, bro. Pulls back his own Roaches that were morphing into Ravagers. Very nice play. Catches that last Roach that was going north. Of course, more Roaches sneaking by as we speak. It is always so crazy watching Dark, guys. Like, I've talked to this with Lambo and a bunch of other Zergs, and we are all in awe of just the ability Dark has to sit on what most of us would consider a bad economy, no advancements in his tech, and just 1 or 2 cheeky little plays that could potentially give him an advantage. And any other Zerg is rushing to the next step, but Dark just says, let me take good Roach Ravager fights, let me Tunneling Claw into your base and be annoying. And he's so confident in his ability to win with these mid-game armies, he will just keep committing to them. But the Ravager advantage for Shin is actually looking too good. Then again, Mutalisks taking forever to deal with this. He needs an Overseer to finish these Roaches off. Dark must have burrowed and unburrowed them. And he is actually going to hold on with the defender's advantage on this base. Shin is now behind in the units lost tab. 8 drones going down. 4, and then another 4 go down. Dude, and look, he burrows to heal again. Mutalisks are really bad against Roaches, especially once they get armor. They don't have any armor upgrades just yet, but it's only a matter of time. Shin now trying to bide his time until his +2 kicks in. Those last few fights, very, very good for Dark. Where's the Overseer? Oh, God. Shin's had an aneurysm, guys. Shin just like forgetting about Tunneling Claws even while they harass him. He's only bringing a single Overseer back. He doesn't have Overlord speed. Shin? What? He's not splitting into his bases? He's playing this like it's just a +1 Roach Ravager all-in. Now it's going to be a +2 Roach Ravager all-in. He knows there's Tunneling Claw Roaches at his base, and he's just not dealing with it. Roaches coming in from multiple sides. Roach Ravager trying to come forward as well. Oh! Oh, this is tough. This is tough. Roaches behind the base. Spinecrawler is that. Dude, he's taking so much damage. Shin's all in. Shin's all in. He's just not defending himself. He's leaving himself wide open at home. The roaches are at that base as well. Yes, he has a Spinecrawler there, but to defend what economy? He needs to crush this fight. It seems like he's maybe winning the fight, but only by a little bit. He needs to be crushing this fight because his natural is getting eviscerated. Shin playing a bit too all in. Dark. As always, Dark, like I said, is confidence to tread water in the game. A lot of people, they always want to be swimming towards a particular goal, a particular finish line. Not Dark. Dark is happy to just hang out and find the plays as the opportunities present themselves. Other players, they always want to force something to work. They want to have a clear advantage they're leaning into so that their strategy is cohesive and optimized. But Dark has an intuitive feel for the game, and he has the ability to find the good engagements, to pick you apart with harassment, and he lets his opponents make those little slip-ups. That's when he takes advantage. How did Dark win the engagement? I think just defend his advantage, really. This big one, right? This is the big one you're talking about? Because there's so many more Ravages, yeah? Like, if we rewind here, if we look at the start of this fight, so it's 56 roaches. Shin just doesn't have that many roaches at this point. Yeah, he's just like not got that many roaches, and we can even go back 10 seconds or whatever. I just don't think he actually has that many roaches. I think at this point, Dark actually just had more stuff than him. Because Shin's not even maxed anymore. He has 4 Mutalisks wasting supply. To be fair, Dark does have 5 queens. So that counts as 2 of the mutas in terms of queen supply, you know? So it's like, okay, it's only 4 more supply. And Dark has a few more drones. But it feels like, yeah, Shin... I guess he's rallying across the map, right? So as always, you got like 10 roaches that are popping out and running across the map. They're not with you. And you can just see the roach count is not good. So yeah. So even, you can say he's got Ravages, right? You got to add the 2 numbers together. But if you go, oh, that's 55, this is 48. So plus Defender's advantage means Dark units are rallying into the fight better. Yeah, it's big. Ravages have less health than roaches, guys. 120 versus 145 for a roach. But they have more range, and even without roach speed, they have a similar move speed to the roach speed roach. But yeah, no, just good defense. The queens came in and mass transfused, cleaned up the Mutalisks. And it basically, he didn't really win this fight. He just failed to lose this fight. He just was like, well, I held the position. I didn't lose my hatchery. And then the reinforce overwhelms. While Shin just has like no economy behind it anymore. Yeah. Nicely done, man. Dude, I can't believe Shin just like with these roaches just left them there. Never made an overseer though. He got really stiff in his play. Got a bit excited. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final chance. Shin has to win this game, and then the next, and then the one after that to bring this finals back. Game and Gladiators Shin going to be going for a 15 hatchery up against Dark on his side of the map. Now this tells me our boy Shin, guys, I think he's going to Evo Roach Horn wall this off, no link speed. Mine this open, try and take a 3rd base down here, put a queen in the choke point. What do you reckon? I think that's what he's going to do. I could be wrong, but to me, if you're going to take a delayed 3rd, skip link speed, and just drone 2 bases like a mother trucker, 15-15 seems like a good way to do it. And he is indeed going for that build order right now. Spawning pool and gas coming in. This looks pretty standard for Dark. Now, I'm looking at this map and I'm thinking about all the ZvZ possibilities. You can open these minerals up with a single drone. These gold minerals take 2 worker trips each. There is a gas coming in. Doesn't mean he's necessarily going to use it that much, guys. He might just put 2 workers on gas, rally to the natural, use that to start a lair. And he could even play very 2-base heavy, could Shin. I think, honestly, if I think Dark might just see what's happening, see it's a gasless play or like a no link speed play. He might just take this gold base real early. I think these take 1 or 2 trips each to mine these minerals out to open that gold base up, or he could just take it from the reverse side himself. Dark's been very Ling Bane flood focused, but if there was ever a game for him to play greedy, this is it. I mean, we know Shin hasn't really been putting the pressure on him nearly as hard. Pig, are you going to be doing a breakdown video on Cyril's 320 Roachhorn defense into Fast Ultra or Lingbane Hydra? I feel it's going to be the standard for Zerg with a harder early game. Did he do that in Home Story Cup? Was like Lambo getting a bit of man meat, bit excited watching it? Or I've only watched little bits of Home Story Cup because it's on while I'm asleep, guys. It's in the middle of the night for me. But you guys let me know. 320 Roachorn, I imagine it's just he's I mean, it sounds like pretty similar to his openings from Dallas, which are just extra greedy versions of the builds, the 15-15s that he was doing. Definitely listen to my talk with Cyril. 2 hours of the nerdiest SC2 talk with Cyril. It's on my YouTube, on my main channel from earlier this year after Katowice. Nice snipe for Shin, guys. As I said, no link speed for Shin. You don't really want to go link speed with this build usually. He's going to go double creep tumor on the front. This is really curious. Dark is super supply blocked on 36 again. Oh my lord, Dark. Guys, what? And he's just massing lings? Okay. He's just massing Zerg. It doesn't matter if you're supply blocked if you were going to be waiting for ling speed anyway. He's just ling flooding. Dark is just doing a 23 drone ling flood. Shin needs to full wall. He needs to full wall right now. Dude, his overlord's getting pushed back. If these lings flood around the top, which they're going to... Oh no, Shin. Shin, full wall. He's not full walling. Oh god. I mean, you still might be able to hold here. Thankfully, that Evo chamber started early, so it's going to get a lot of hit points. He's not going to have any transfuse for another 15 seconds, though. On this second queen will get a transfuse about 15 seconds from now. I think that should be early enough if he shuffles the queen back in the wall just slightly, but it's dangerous. There we go. He shuffles her back, gets her on hold position. Transfuse is going to be ready in about 5 seconds. He needs another Evo chamber. Oh, God, he's not going to have transfuse. Oh, just before he got the 50 energy for the transfuse, it dies. Okay, he's trying to focus the Roach Horn down. No. You need to focus on walling on the left. Wall on the left, Shin. Shin's in trouble. Okay, he starts a Roach. He starts a Roach and 6 Zerglings. A couple more Roaches start. That queen goes down. She tried to throw creep tumors down to squeeze herself through the wall. He was trying to glitch the queen through the wall. He doesn't get it in time. Drones being forced to fight right now. These Evo chambers may need to cancel. If he can cancel those and get the drones back, that could be good. The drones try to drill. Not a good move. He should have just fought in the choke point and limited their surface area. Shin panicking right now. He's waiting for the Roaches, but the Lings are getting shredded. This is a huge, basic, all-in, dark, going back to 2014. This is what ZvZ looked like in my heyday. Just flip a coin, throw some Zerglings at your opponent, and hope they screw the pooch. Shin kicking himself right now, going, oh my god, Lingbane all in, into Ling Flood, into random stuff. Did Dark just throw random stuff at me and overwhelm me? Yes, he did. And this reminds you why ZvZ below the very top level is always this. And Dark is the one weirdo who makes this work versus the top Zergs. He is the one weirdo in the top 20 players in the world who will throw out the plays that win at GM, that win at Masters, that crush in Platinum League, and he just makes it look like a casual finals victory, 4-1 in the November monthly finals for OlimoLeague after destroying a bunch of the best Terrans in the world. Dark, you're a freak. GG, well played.